Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
I can brag your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing. Woo!
Oh shit! It's Thursday. That means draft.
Let's go.
That means draft.
Let's go. Is it lame to say let's go now? I like that.
I think like kids that were saying it and were cool when they were saying it were saying it like 3 years ago.
Let's go.
Let's go. Which is why now we're old and we're like, oh yeah, we're hip.
It's gotten to us.
The best way to figure out like when things are not cool or cool is like I ask Melissa like, what are the second graders saying now? Because then once the second graders are saying it, like you know that it's way beyond its useful point.
It's not cool anymore.
It's definitely not.
Does
cool
it like
anymore.
start with like a 14-year-old and then like it just emanates out or something, and like by the time the second graders and like the 30-year-olds get it, you're just
I like that.
You're just fucked. Like you know that it's not cool anymore.
At what age does the cool shit start? Like 16, 8? I think like 18.
I don't think so. No, I think it's younger than that because an 18-year-old is starting to feel like they're too cool to be.
It's freshman year is when they're
so
too
like
important.
adult to do like silly cool shit. But like if you're a freshman or sophomore,
it's their
you're
job
fully
to find
caught up
out the coolest thing immediately as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and then to be like and to like go all in on it.
Yeah.
Like that's when you can say the words and be like, I'm dead serious. Like, let's go.
I got one for you.
What is the other thing that people say?
Well, it's kind of different than that, but I remember I shaved my legs in high school because it was like cool at the time. Do you remember that?
I don't think that was cool.
I remember
It was.
people doing it.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
you
do it till
you
college.
remember it. I just think back on that
I
sometimes.
miss
and I'm like,
I miss
my
that.
God.
Were you guys also oiling yourselves up, or like
Nope.
what was going on?
It was just like your legs looked so much sleeker when you didn't have like hair all over.
Like
them,
with a
you know
straight,
what I mean?
like with a safety razor, or did you
yeah,
trim it?
like a Bic. For like
I'm not
basketball
saying
and stuff.
I get it. I didn't do it.
For like basketball and stuff, it was definitely a thing, and I remember being like, "Oh, I got to shave
Yeah,
my legs."
aerodynamics. That's why you did it.
You did it.
Everybody
Everybody
shaved
a
their
little
legs
faster.
Nick couldn't do it because there wasn't an industrial razor on this side of the fucking.
I wasn't. There was. I wasn't going to splurge for it. I wasn't going to drive to Oakdale.
You need the 240 volt outlet.
A sheep shear.
Sheep shear. Oh well.
Speaking
hey,
of sheer,
yeah, we are here today to draft, and since we did on Tuesday the movie Dogma, Kevin Smith's 1999 classic, we are now moving into. We're all pretty familiar with Kevin Smith characters. We're going to draft the most memorable Kevin Smith characters from his body of work, only including the movies that he wrote and directed. Wrote and directed.
so
Are we? Is this a problem?
I'm sorry.
Is this a
Or-
grammatical
Are you-
disagreement, or are we disagreeing about?
or is what
actually
Brad's
counting?
trying to say? He's trying to say or
No,
wrote or directed.
Or is
if he wrote the movie
or.
and did not direct it, that's okay. I'm not sure if that
That's
exists.
what was.
There's
said
like
in-
a couple that I think fit that.
Okay,
Brad, just let
Okay.
him. Just let him take him.
all right, that's fine.
Brad, are we disagreeing about?
'Cause we said on the
meaning of
text
I
word
thought,
if
I
he
thought
wrote-
we were just going to stick with the movies that Kevin Smith wrote and directed.
but if he
That
wrote
was
the
not what the
movie,
text
we
was.
said in the text, if he wrote the movie, then they're obviously his characters.
That's what
Nate,
they
I thought
said.
you were referring to like Cop Out, where he directed the movie but did not write it.
I was also referring to that, but I'm saying anything that he wrote or directed.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever. Okay, and we're saying most memorable.
All right, I'm going to take Al
Memorable.
Pacino from. He
Son of
wasn't
a-
involved
son of
in
a
that.
woman? Son of a woman?
and Son of a Woman.
Oh boy.
She's good.
So I have to ask myself, Brad, do you have a draft order? And yes, I do, Brad. I
God, you are a teacher.
in honor of Jay, in honor of Kevin Smith's newly found weed habit. Well, it's not newly found. He's been at it for about 20 years now. I went ahead and just took a giant rip from the bong, and I blew a giant cloud up into the air. And lo and behold, Snoochie Boochies, we had a draft order.
Whoa, in smoke?
In smoke. It was magnificent. It kind of it kind of scrolled like credits. It was
I love it.
You're like the
Number
caterpillar
one.
in Alice in Wonderland.
Number 1, Nick.
Oh,
And then
love
I
that.
think just the gods know that, like, you know what? I'm drafting second because I have 2 wins, drafting in number 2 spot. So
You're a piece of shit.
I think that's what it's done.
Did you finish? Did you
number
finish
2 'cause
second
you're a
in the
piece of
inaugural
shit.
season?
Number three is Zach. And on that Richo Rito, you've got Nate.
You don't want to give me the 4th pick because I'll take it. I'll take it to the
Reach
house.
Rito.
I'll take it to the house.
Nate, number 4, tight combination.
That's right. I'm if we were ranking from best to worst, top to bottom, I'd be number 4.
So we're doing most memorable Kevin Smith movie characters. And it's going to be an interesting one because I think it'll be interesting how they go, what order.
Will it be?
Can I tell you guys something? I have 8 names on my list, and I don't want to have to turn my phone on. And I am relying on you guys to not pick the ones that I picked.
Well,
I'll
good
keep
luck
my
with
phone.
that.
I just switched my phone over my other leg so he can't look at my
No,
list.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
And full disclosure, I haven't seen quite a few Kevin Smith movies. I think there's 6 that I've seen, so let's go.
You agreed to the draft, so here you are.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I think I saw the first 4 movies that he made, and then I saw 2 later on, and I think that's it. But anyways, here we go.
All right.
All right, I'm going J.
I think that's the
Give me J.
You think that's 101?
easy number 1 of 1. You got to go with J.
Don't even have to cross it off my list because it's not on my list.
Well, that's a weird list. If you don't, oh, no, actually, no. You explained it. You explained it on the Dogma Pod. So
That's
okay,
right.
that's true. But not having it on your list is still
So
that'd be
weird.
like I'm not going to take Patrick Mahomes. Like
I'm not.
even
Gonna
if he's
take-
there, I would not take
I'm
him.
not going to take Darth Vader.
Most memorable Star Wars characters.
What am I, an asshole?
Vader's not on my list.
All right, so now I'm in the number 2 spot, and this is where it gets a little interesting because, man,
At number 2, it gets interesting.
yeah,
we're
because
fucked.
Jay was my easy number 1, and now there's a lot of different directions to go.
Is there?
But I think there's just one that kind of set the stage for what Kevin Smith dialogue is going to sound like. And I'm going to go ahead and take Randall Graves, the one of the most obnoxious clerks of all time. But goddamn, can he deliver a funny punchline?
We're on fire. That's 2 not on my list.
Did you look up the right director?
What are you guys picking?
Which Kevin Smith are we talking
I got
about?
Vincent Vega at the top of my list. I don't know what's happening.
It's Kevin Smith from JC.
All right. Well, Zach, now you get to go to your list. We get
Yeah,
to find
it's
something
tough.
fun here from your
It's
special
tough,
list.
but I've got a very clear number 1 in my mind, and that is going to be Brody as Jason Lee as Brody from Mallrats.
Of course, he picked his shitty list. and he picks
I love Jason Lee, and I fell in love with him in this movie.
Nate was 100% going Brody Bruce if you didn't, for sure. That was
that was definitely my
that
next
was a
pick.
given. So
7 left on my list.
Oh man! All right.
now, should I be putting movies here, or should I just be putting characters? Because a lot of them kind of appear in different movies. Or should I put the movie that the most? Like,
So I thought about
notorious?
No,
that.
it's just
Does he
a
get
character.
Jay across the universe?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
You get, you
yeah.
get Jay in the universe.
Does that include Jay? Because he's not playing Jay
No.
in Zack and Miri. Okay,
Different
good.
character.
I like
that would be different.
Perfect.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna. Oh man, there's a lot of different ways. I'm gonna go in the first round. I'm going Alyssa from Chasing Amy.
Good pick. Joy Lauren Adams.
Yeah.
Alyssa Jones, man, I know Alyssa Jones.
I love her in lots of stuff, and she's. I think she's great.
Should I put in quotes finger cuffs?
I think I'll take her as finger cuffs. Yes. And then I got to jump back to Clerks and take Dante.
Dante.
I almost went double Chasing Amy there, but I can't do it. Got to diversify.
Okay, with my second pick,
God, 1 is tough.
I am gonna
So many
go
picks before it comes back to me.
Holden as a slightly whiny Ben Affleck in Chasing Amy
Me.
because I like his character. I really like that movie, and that's gonna be my pick. I didn't think that was gonna get to me, but I love
Holden
it.
McNeil.
You've only seen that movie though, right? Because I mean, you're just gonna only pick from Chasing Amy. Oh no, you took Brody Bruce.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
This
Never mind.
morose motherfucker. Bong.
There's some good ones left.
Yeah, well, I don't exactly know where I'm going to go. I'm thinking about it.
What can we talk about to kill
Yeah,
some
I
time?
actually think I need some stall time, boys.
I'll talk about the first time I saw Mallrats if you guys want to hear that
I'd
story.
love to hear that.
Yeah, so I was in a fight with my girlfriend at the time, and like I take fights kind of hard. Like I really like I'm like in a bad mood.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
know.
It's not one. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always all morose when you get in a fight.
Yeah, I didn't know. So transparent.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Jesus Christ.
I got to jump in real quick. This is related to Best Video
Have you
Kingdom.
guys been talking about me
This
behind
is
my
related to
back?
Best Video Kingdom because he came into Best Video Kingdom one time. I mean, just looking like death. Like it was. I was like, what the fuck? Like, did somebody die? What's going on here? And it was something to do with his relationship.
Yeah, it was,
And I was
something
just
to do
like,
with a fight
bro.
with his junior high girlfriend, which he's about to tell us about. He was still broken up about it.
No. So then I walked into Mallrats, and usually this is not the kind of thing. And I was with her, and so like I was like, you know, like likely to be super pissed, and not likely to be like in the
Having a
to
good
laugh
time.
no matter
Yeah.
what. And I laughed so hard in that movie, I cried. I was like, I don't even care. I don't care. It's so funny. For some reason, the Mallrats
Funnier.
The fact that it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
like against my like super like.
You're just
frustrated-
trying to be mad.
I was not even mad, just like in a bad mood. It was like Kevin Smith broke through. It's one of the rare events. So yeah, man, Mallrats.
All right.
Or the show Workaholics did that for me for a long time. Just, you can put it on at any time, and it just makes me laugh so fucking hard.
All right, thanks. That was some good Stalin boys. I'm ready to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and take probably the most profound actor to be in any Kevin Smith movie, and I believe that's Alan Rickman as the Metatron from Dogma.
Really?
That's a crazy number 2 pick, but I love him
cool.
in this. I really
Great.
love him in this.
Great reach. Okay, cool.
I don't think so. I think he's very memorable.
For a silly movie category, that's not a very silly pick. I'm interested in.
Nick, we stalled a long time for Brad. You got to piggyback on that shit.
So I got my wraparound,
Yeah.
and okay, so I'm taking Silent Bob.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Silent Bob went this far.
What the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, he's terrible.
What are we
He's
doing?
not terrible. Oh man.
His one line in the movie that we did this week is ripoff from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No ticket. Jones and Last Crusade.
Okay, Silent Bob, and then Federal Wildlife Marshal Will and Holly, Will Ferrell's character in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Give me that shit.
My list is holding up spectacularly because I haven't seen that one either.
That's a blind spot, I'll admit.
That's a bad blind spot.
Well,
It is a great Will Ferrell character. I mean, legit great.
Will Ferrell acting kind of Will Ferrell-y a little bit, getting a little irreverent.
Very much
Maybe a little
legit.
loud.
And some swear words and just being a little loud and shooting a gun while he's running, going, fuck, 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 fuck.
And the way he shot his gun.
It's just super over the top. All right, so my next pick is going to be, I think he's due. And you got Brody Bruce, but Jason Lee came through with a very solid character in Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
And basically they almost seem like brothers. It's like almost seem like they should be
A
like
fucking
twin brothers.
tracer?
Yeah, almost,
You're gonna pick a fucking tracer?
I'll trace a chalk line around your ass.
A fucking tracer?
I'm taking Banky Edwards from Chasing Amy.
yeah, that's a good pick. I would have thought that Banky was actually could have been the same, like a more mature, slightly older, just like like the same character.
He
just older.
the character from Mallrats.
yeah,
I like that.
Brody Bruce turns into Banky, so I like it.
Is it my pick next?
It is. You got your multitude of.
I've got a lot
Picks
of
left.
options. I got a lot of options.
You're good to go. So you cannot be.
go.
You've got.
I think my last one's definitely going to make it to my last pick. So I am going to go. I had a couple of choices from this guy who I fucking love, but I'm going to go Michael Parks as Howard Howe in Tusk, which I know none of you have seen, because if you had, you guys would be like, that shit is fucking crazy, because it's fucking crazy.
Well, he was great in Red State, but
And hopefully David's seen it. If he hasn't, he's going to do a YouTube assist on, maybe some storytelling that Howard does, or you got to check it out. There's a good fight at the end. So check it out, Dave.
It's interesting that we were talking about Tarantino and Kevin Smith on the pod last week, because Michael Park, I mean, his heyday, his very twilight of his career came through Tarantino movies and Kevin Smith movies. So both of them saw in this guy that he's an amazing character actor.
And he was in No Country for Old Men.
Yep.
I think he had a tiny little part in that too. But I mean, the Coen Brothers, Tarantino, and who else did you say?
Just Kevin Smith and Tarantino.
Smith, yeah.
I mean, they both saw that guy is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go
With your last two picks.
with my last two picks. In the third spot, I'm going to go with maybe a little bit of an unlikely. I'm going to skip right over TS. I'm going to go to Mr. Not Brandy, but Mr. Svenning, Mallrats.
I love that pick, and I'm glad that. I mean, it could still happen, but if anybody picks TS, I just quit the podcast.
He's memorable.
He's forgettable.
He's memorable for all the wrong reasons. yes.
Memorable
But
because
Mr.
he's
Svenning,
fucking terrible.
damn, I thought that was going to fall to me in the fourth. That's a great pick.
I love it. That's
Michael
a great
Rooker
one.
just doing awesome job.
Amazing, yeah. And then I'm going to do something a little weird here. Man, this is really tough. So I know I'm going to go Zach and Mary. The problem is that there are several characters, and I don't want to get too cute.
Yeah, be careful.
But
Fourth
I'm gonna,
place is a lonely.
So I think I'm going to take Zach from Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Seth Rogen's character.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, agreed.
There's a like little more bit part in that one that I think is like dialed up to 25, but it's a very small part. So
Straight off my list, Nate.
I hope Dave's able to figure this out because I just put Zach, and I'm assuming he will
Zach
figure out
Brown
that's
is
from-
his name. Zach Brown as Seth Rogen.
You put
from
Zach and Mary.
Mary.
Just say Zach and Mary.
Seth Rogen and Zach and Mary.
I'm not putting movies for any of the other ones. So,
All right.
so I think
what?
should I be putting movies? We said no.
What do you mean? I see what you're saying. Well, you could. I mean,
I assumed you were putting the movie.
I
in
see
there.
what you're saying. He's got to know Zach.
When we text him, just tell him if he has any questions about the movies, text us.
Just tell him we didn't put the movies. We just put the characters. He can probably Google.
Yeah.
all right. So Zach, your final pick.
There's another one that I want to pick that I know none of you. That I also know none of you guys have seen. Or actually, no, Brad, I think you saw it, but I'm gonna skip it because I would be remiss if I did not go with one of my favorite characters, which is Ethan Suplee as William in Mallrats. It's not a schooner; it's a sailboat.
It's Willem, but yeah.
Willem. I'm sorry, Willem.
That character.
Willem Black, who is actually a different actor in Clerks, which is even weirder, played completely different, but they
Scott
give him the exact
Mosier.
same name. Yeah.
Scott Mosier, his longtime kind of like co-director and director of photography and stuff at times.
But first of all, I love Ethan Suplee all the way from Boy Meets World to like what he's doing now, which is like basically like an inspirational speaker, and he's like a power lifter, and
Yeah,
it's
he
like
lost
in
a bunch of weight.
incredible
he's
shape.
shredded.
And I listened to him on some podcast somewhere, and he was fucking great.
So he's like he's the brother sidekick in My Name Is Earl with
Right.
Jason Lee, which is actually a really, I think, kind of underrated show. It's really funny, and he's really funny in it.
He's
when
also
he was in Remember the Titans, he was
Yep.
large. I
Oh,
mean,
he's huge. I mean, if you remember, he's huge in Butterfly Effect. I don't know if you guys saw Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
But and I mean, even in Boy Meets World, he's fucking huge. Anyways, I love his character, and it's not a schooner, it's a sailboat is something that I say all the time, every time I talk about Magic Eyes, which is not super often, but you know,
Which is every time you're in 1998.
yeah. Every time I'm like, you guys want to do some Magic Eyes? And then I call people a stupid head.
all right, solid pick. And now, man, this is memorable. I feel like this could either win this for me or lose this for me, but I'm going to do it. When we're talking memorable Kevin Smith characters, if you've seen the movie, of course, it is one of the most memorable things from it. I'm going to go ahead and take Miss Ivana, the three-nipple psychic.
Oh wow.
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
Everybody just got the picture in their head.
And then she eats the nipple.
Shit.
I'm going Miss Ivana,
It's not a bad
the
pick.
three-nipple psychic. I mean, that's a very memorable character. She plays an instrumental role in the movie. And Jason Lee's just disgust as Brody when he's like watching. What are you talking about? It's right there. Because TS is trying to be like all cool about it.
It's a nubbin.
Great scene. All right, Nick, you're wrapping this thing up for us, man. Last pick.
Wrap it up in a nice little bow, Nicky.
Nick looks like he's just in
These
full-on
last
agony
picks.
over there.
These last
Turmoil.
picks are
There's
just-
one pick I'm very fresh. I just didn't take. I should have taken it. It was probably the right one, but I'm hoping you do. Maybe it doesn't happen.
I have a feeling I'm not, but I'm sticking, I guess, to my comfort zone, and the top Clerks picks are off the board. The top Mallrats picks are off the board. So it forces me to come back to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And I've narrowed it to between two. But it's Sean William Scott in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I love Sean William Scott, but I have no idea what you're talking about because I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, he's
fucking hilarious.
He's like a
hippie,
progressive, plays guitar and sings songs about like.
And he acts like he's just hippie, but he's really just trying to get into all the girls' pants that are in this van.
Yeah, he's trying to be the endearing, like liberal, like emotions. I'm in tune with my emotions. He's singing songs about like
animals,
rabbits getting makeup in their eyes. Like these little folk songs. I'm a noble rabbit.
I'm a noble rabbit. I love animals, stupid.
Yeah. And it's John Williams got braces and like a Prince Valiant haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got braces?
It was either that or George Carlin.
Do we have his character? Somebody's got to look that up real quick on the
Nick's doing it.
The webs. But that's it. So we've got also Rans. And I got to start with also Rans because I probably should have taken Miss Ivana. I should have taken Hooper from Chasing Amy.
Yeah, so that I have that one.
God damn, he is
cop
funny.
or-
No, he's the black comic book artist that's also the bartender.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
The scene with him and Jason Lee going back and forth about he's making fun of
what's a Nubian?
yeah, he's talking about Star Wars is racist because he's like this beautiful black like evil man. He's like, but when they pull that helmet off and it's just a crusty old white man.
His name is Brent.
Brent, that's right.
So from Dogma, I didn't make any picks from Dogma. A lot of people really like Cardinal Glick as a memorable character.
Carlin.
Yeah, and I like it. It's okay, but it's not
Small part.
So Carlin and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is a hitchhiker, and he gives truck drivers blowjobs, and he talks about, I'll take a shot in the mouth, and he's because Jay and Silent Bob are hitchhiking, and he's explaining to him like, hey, if you want to get around out there, like you gotta be willing to get down.
I know that this might be an unpopular pick, but Rufus from Dogma, I like. I'm a Chris Rock. I actually like Chris Rock in it. And God, without a single word for me, like Alanis Morissette stands out in that movie. And then if the only other also rounds I have are a bunch from Zach and Mary Make a Porno. So Mary, who I really like and I almost took, but then Lester, who is
Jay's
Jay,
character, yeah.
And Brandon, who is played by
Justin Long.
Oh, he's this like very gravelly voiced. Flamboyant's not the right word. Kind of like I like characterize it.
Aggressively masculine, gay
it's
porn
like
star.
It's like aggressively masculine, flamboyant,
Yeah.
gay porn star, and it's like, dude, he's so good, and it's so funny, and like he owns it. It's a great role and a great character.
I had the shit demon. I mean, if we're talking about memorable, we're not talking about best.
I'm surprised that neither Affleck or Damon from Dogma went, but I mean, they're kind of good as a team. It's tough to pick one.
Clerks 2 Elias is super funny. If you all have ever anybody see Clerks 2?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's been a long
So
time.
Elias is like he's one of the workers and he loves the Lord of the Rings and he's just super nerdy and Randall fucks with him constantly.
What about so my list didn't even get depleted here. What about Olaf, their cousin from fucking Germany or whatever, in front of the store? And he's like,
Hey, Olaf, Berserker.
Yeah.
Berserker.
Oh, Berserker.
I like that guy. And then the other one that didn't come off of my list was Michael Parks, also in Red State, as the leader of the like Westboro Baptist Church type deal or whatever. Whatever the weird fucking shit was. He's fucking great.
Awesome in that. A couple others, Mallrats, Trisha Jones. I mean, obviously she as a 15-year-old doing the sex study.
Oh yeah.
And then Shannon Hamilton, which is Ben Affleck's character in Mallrats, is
Dude, how did I not pick Ben Affleck's character in Mallrats? He's so fucking great.
I forgot about
pretty
And
legit.
aggressive and just fucking. Oh,
Did we say Craig Robinson from Zack and Mary? Sorry, I couldn't miss that.
I think he's Delaney.
Delaney is his name.
So that's the other one.
He's hella funny in that movie.
Oh, he's great.
He's so worried about his wife, but he loves to see the fucking, but he's worried about his wife finding out.
That's right.
What about Tracy Morgan in the Cop Out movie that Bruce Willis is so bad in? I saw it long time ago, and I just love Tracy Morgan. I have
Tracy
to think that Tracy Morgan was funny in it, but I can't literally remember.
He was funny in it. He had parts.
Well, he's in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as like a drug dealer, and he and Jay like bond a little bit. It's pretty funny, but he says, "I don't know what the fuck you said, little kid,
But you're special.
but you're special. You touched your brother's heart."
Crack.
Tracy Morgan just talking about getting stuff pregnant is the funniest shit that I've ever heard.
Just want to get you pregnant.
I just want to get you pregnant.
One unknown, but very big character that's shown up in all the movies is Steve Dave. It's Steve Dave and the fanboy, like they're always in. But tell him Steve Dave.
So tell him Steve Dave is one of the like I'll use that anytime, you know.
Nate talked about that on the early Mallrats podcast that no one will ever hear. Nate talked about
Tell him Steve Dave. Just give somebody two first names and say them together, and I'm in.
That's so funny.
And the final from Clerks 2, if you have not seen it, the sexy stud. I don't even want to spoil it for anybody, but just when you get to the scene with the sexy stud in Clerks 2, it's
If we haven't seen it yet, we're not watching that shit.
I think you should. It's actually a decent movie.
Clerks 2 is not a movie that you watch like 15 years after it came out.
no,
That's when you watch opening night or you don't see it.
I think it holds up. I think it's a decent movie. It's pretty damn funny.
Oh, God. I just can't picture a scenario where I sit down and I'm like, all right, Clerks 2, here we go.
All right, let's quit killing time and somebody get a win besides Brad here.
All right, hey, where do we put Dave? Is he in the interwebs? Is he in the Tron universe right now?
Yeah, we got Dave. Dave's rolled in here, and in theory, he's going to join us by Zoom. But I just see a black screen. So
I hate to say it, but I feel really confident again. This is fucking terrible.
Your confidence betrays you.
Well, no, I don't. Nick's team's shit.
Why do you feel confident?
Because you picked 3 people from the same movie that sucks. So
Actually, all 4 of them were in the same movie. Correction.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike
Correction.
Back. I got all of them. Let me get the whole cast.
all right, let's get it.
All right, we'll be right back, and then we're going to bring on a judge.
Tusk my balls.
California has the largest population in the United States and the site of some of the most famous true crime cases in history. But there's more than meets the eye to the crime in California. Join Sean, Jessica, and Charles on the California True Crime Podcast as they cover crime both infamous and overlooked from around our state, while looking at the deeper history that goes beyond beaches and movie stars.
All right, folks, we are back, and the no longer out there in just the Zoom
The metaverse.
Zoomiverse. He's actually here now. We have our special guest judge. But before we get to that, I just want to say, one, you guys know that I have 2 wins, right?
Yeah, you're a bitch.
Do you guys remember?
I remember I have a belt. I'm wearing the belt like I do every podcast
Nick's
from
so
our
proud of his
inaugural
belt.
season.
It's just like one of those shitty reversible ones that's either brown or black.
Nick's
It's
like
just
the
a
Raiders
fucking-
fans that they're like, we went 4-0 in the preseason.
Yeah.
What? We went 4-0.
Remember when we beat the Niners in the preseason?
You guys all
It's
have
like,
your drawstrings. You have your drawstrings. I have a belt, and you guys have spandex waist.
But actually, okay, so I have 2 wins, and you know, I could go for 3 today. But
many
the
wins?
problem is,
Spandex waist.
I know.
You fucking waistlines.
You got us.
But so this, and I was like, okay, we're going into my draft, my movie. I'm kind of the biggest Kevin Smith fan of the group, and I was like, I'm overthinking this now. I know I'm going to overthink this.
100%
I know I'm going
overthink
to
that.
fuck up this draft,
And you did.
and I feel like I kind of did.
It
And so
happened.
I was just worried that, you know.
Yeah, but
I
he's
might
trying to do like
think
reverse
too much.
psychology shit. Like this is
No.
I-
I'm not winning this draft. I'm
this is cocky.
He's reverse psychology.
I'm just saying, congratulations to whoever gets that first win.
Just setting it up so
Stop
you can be
it.
like, I didn't even think I did that
Congrats.
good, and I
All right.
won my 3rd title.
Congrats, whoever gets that first win night. I'm proud of you.
Shut
'Cause this should have been mine, but I really just fucked it up.
Shut up, Brad.
All right, so we have a special guest here, Dave. I'm going to let Nick give some introductions because these guys are pretty good good buddies. So
Yeah, this is Dave up in Washington State. Really old friend. We were roommates at our first year in college. We were in each other's weddings. He was the I always describe him as the skater punk rocker because I was a big jock going into the school, and they teamed us up with complete strangers at our college. And they teamed us up, and we became friends right away. And one of the things we bonded on was movies immediately. And the fact that we both, like Nate, had to go to sleep watching movies. And that was, you're a roommate your first year in college, and going to sleep and how you're going to go to sleep and what your roommate's going to be like are very big deals. And the fact that we had that in common was number one.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome, Dave.
Hey, everybody.
And then
And also, first of all, spoiler alert, somebody hasn't finished listening to the Wedding Crashers podcast, all right? And I now know who wins the draft, so thanks a lot.
God damn it.
And,
we did that to Scotch Beck last week, too.
So let me tell you, do you ever get past the DVD menu, or do you guys both just play DVD menus and fall asleep?
I could sleep to the DVD menu, absolutely.
Now, does this continue to this day that you still like to have some white noise of movies or something in the background?
I use the sleep timer function on our new TV.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we've got a new TV, and there's a 30-minute sleep timer. So I'll put on Frasier or whatever. And
Okay, Frasier.
30 minutes, and
Okay.
about 20 minutes before the timer goes off, I'm already out.
I feel that.
I'm a father of two, one on the way, and a 2-year-old daughter. So
Yeah.
I fall asleep pretty quick.
Nothing puts you to sleep like some fucking Frasier, man.
Absolutely,
Dr. Frasier Crane.
tossing some salads and scrambling some eggs.
Oh,
Frasier's the show to go to sleep to.
Have you ever had any weird Frasier associated dreams?
Yeah. He's like, I had this
Frasier
dream. I was fucking Frasier.
Yeah, it's like
and then I woke up.
it's in your ears, and so
That
has it
sounds
ever-
more like a dream my wife would have. Actually.
Oh, Dr.
Damn
Crane.
Kelsey Grammer.
This isn't a visual medium, but we got Dave on Zoom here, and Dave kind of looks like, I think if they would have like really pushed the Buddy Christ thing, like if Dave kind of looks like hipster Buddy Christ.
Hipster Buddy
I
Christ.
like that. I think this fits.
Thank you.
I think.
And he's got a Game of Thrones house cup
dude.
that he's rocking. His
A
beer
man
in.
after my own heart.
What are you drinking there, Dave?
Cheers.
Since you missed the Tuesday
I am
episode.
drinking a hazy pale ale from a local brewery here in my town, Arlington, Washington.
Okay.
The brewery is called White Wall, and it's my first time trying it, and this beer is delicious.
Dude.
Is it
Always
close
good.
by? Is it close by your town? Did you have to drive a little bit for that brewery? You said it was a brewery you
No,
wanted to try
it's just
for a
about
while.
5-10 minutes from my house. Yeah, we have drive by it all the time, but like I said, we have a 2-year-old, so I don't get too many chances
Dude.
to get out, and so this was a great opportunity to give him a try.
Sweet.
I'm glad we could give you an opportunity to do that. But yeah, I mean, Dave, and also you introduced me to Kevin Smith movies. And I was telling the guys here that I started with, it was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or Dogma. It was one or the other that I started with. I started in reverse, and I haven't even seen all of Clerks. But just a quick,
Missing out, buddy.
What's your take on Dogma? You and I have been talking, recently just about our pod and just about, Dogma and Kevin Smith movies. But your take on Dogma?
I love Dogma. It's one of my favorites. I'm sad to discover that you're right. You can't really find it to stream or to
crazy.
buy digitally. So luckily I have a copy of it still on DVD because, you know me, I'm a crazy guy who would buy a lot of DVDs and I still have them all. I didn't get rid of them. They're just in a big folder instead of in a shelf.
Dave, are you like an early influence on young Nicky here, just buying movies without seeing them? Just the
blind buy?
The blind buy.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I did a lot of blind buys. Absolutely.
We have that in
I
common,
still do
though.
it.
Yeah, we kind of have.
I
that
just
in
blind.
common.
I blind buy them on digital now, so that's a dangerous habit to get into. Try to avoid that one.
That is a dangerous.
I go like a couple clicks and it's mine.
Yeah, but at least they don't take up any shelf space. I mean, I have some shit
true.
on my shelves. I'm like, why is that even sitting there? Like, that needs to just go straight to the trash.
No, just money. It just
It's only money. So would you? Let me ask you this: in the Kevin Smith universe, give me your top 3. What are your favorite Kevin Smith?
Ooh.
Tough question.
Just my favorite Kevin Smith movies. Well, you got to go Jay and
movies.
Silent Bob Strike Back because that's just
Jesus
really
Christ.
funny movie. You could throw it on anytime, and it is what it is. It's dick and fart jokes, and it's funny, And so you want to laugh, throw on some Jay and Silent Bob. that'll get get the job done every time. I mean, Dogma. Honestly, I love Dogma. It's a great movie. And a third favorite.
What is Clerks?
I mean, Mallrats is a solid.
Okay.
I mean, Clerks. I mean, I love, but so favorite. But like something that's my favorite isn't necessarily something that I might think is the best, or these kind of movies that I might watch the most, like Clerks, or excuse me, like Mallrats.
Yeah. So Mallrats,
they would be my favorites, but Clerks was more influential in movies and things like that.
Yeah, I've seen Mallrats and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back the most out of all my Kevin Smith movies.
I've definitely seen Mallrats and Chasing Amy the most, and I'd say those two for me are 1 and 2, and they could reverse depending on my mood. Because Mallrats is just a good time, right? But Chasing Amy, like it's got a lot more heart.
I probably like Chasing Amy more, but I've seen Mallrats way more.
Oh
times.
yeah, and that's one that you can watch, like jump in at any point too, and really like dig the whole. Jump in and jump out, and not even have to watch the whole thing.
100%.
All right, bud. Well, I mean, it sounds like you had a tough time, deciding, and you had to come up with some tiebreakers yourself. So you look like you're working hard over there. You look like you've been sweating and stressing about this decision. You doing okay with these picks? You guys
did not make it easy. You did not make it easy.
One last thing before we get into that, so as far as Kevin Smith, because I know I was a huge Kevin Smith fan. Yeah. I've followed him for a long time, but in the kind of the twilight of his career, I didn't watch Tusk. I know Zach has watched Tusk, and he's recommending us that we watch it. And then I didn't watch Yoga Hosers. So there are some blank spots in my Kevin Smith movie watching. Have you watched all of his library?
Not all, because I didn't see Tusk and I didn't see Red State.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I did see Red State.
Now, but I know of these movies. I know a lot about them. I listen to his podcasts, and I'm a big fan and love his movies, but those two I just haven't had the opportunity to watch.
You guys
haven't come across
You guys had you and your wife talked and hung out with him, right? At a function.
We did. We got the chance to meet Kevin Smith. He's a really funny guy. I've seen him perform. Watch the Hollywood Babylon. He does a podcast called Hollywood Babylon. Watch those. We've been to a couple of those. And then my wife works for a toy company, and he is a big fan of this toy company. And so he came to the opening of their headquarters, and, really fun time. But she got to take him and his associates around, and she was their liaison among the company. Cool. And yeah, so it was definitely a cool experience. And we at the time we were engaged, and we were still planning our wedding. So this was, a number of years ago. But he did offer to be the officiant of our wedding. So we have a fun. We didn't take him up on the offer. He was our number 2 choice. Our number 1 choice was my brother-in-law, Chris. He's a really great guy, and so he was our number 1 choice. But if Chris wasn't able to do it, we would go gone to Kevin Smith as number 2.
That's super.
But we did end up with a great photograph of him. Practice officiating our wedding.
That's fucking awesome.
I was talking on the pod earlier just how Kevin Smith just seems like he loves interacting with fans and people that have appreciated his movies, and is always giving back to the people. He's not somebody that is unrelatable or somebody that you can't interact with. So
he's very much an everyman.
I think you're absolutely right.
That's super cool.
We were talking, and it seems like he's someone that really cares a lot, or tries not to, but seems to probably not be able to avoid the fact that he cares a lot about what people think about his movies. Do you get that sense about Kevin Smith, or that he fights it? Or
I would say yes. I mean, he made a movie about how much he cares about what people think about his movies.
Right.
Called Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they go back and
that's true. They go back and
they go to every single little jerk's house. I don't know what our rating is here.
Oh no,
every little shithead's house. He talked shit about him on the internet, and he went to every single one of their house and he kicked their asses in the end of the movie.
It is one of the best.
And that was actually inspired by people talking shit on his website about his movies, and he got tired of it, and he went and made a joke about it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes of his is just Jay reading the scripts directly to these people. Like, did you write that? Yeah. Wham! Just knocking little kids out and stuff. It's terrible, but it's a funny scene. That's why we said you got to watch it, Zach. Okay,
dude,
watch it.
It reminds me of Lebowski. When Walter goes to that kid's house
with the homework.
So one of you guys hasn't even seen Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back?
I think two
people. Who hasn't seen it?
Zach,
I haven't seen.
Nate, you have seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No. I've seen everything except the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
You've seen Tusk?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I've seen all. I've not seen Tusk or Red State.
Okay.
But I've seen everything else.
I need to see Red State.
It's a good Michael
It's
Parks.
super
just
straight.
Amazing.
It's very, very not a View Askew movie. And,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one we have that has not come up on either of the two pods this week. That have you guys all seen Jersey Girl?
No.
No,
I did.
not.
There you go, right there. I mean that
I did.
it's not great, but it's not. I think it's not. I think there are pieces of it that have that Kevin Smith flavor. That's not as bad.
George Carlin does a good job. The problem with that movie was that it was J-Lo and Affleck, and that got all this Hollywood kind of talking about, Bennifer and all that bullshit. And so it kind of had this weird thing that they were starting becoming like a thing. And then the movie was solid. I mean, she's only in it like Jennifer Lopez.
Is that the one that was super panned?
No, you're thinking of Geely.
Jiggly.
Oh,
or
Jiggly.
Yeah. Gigli is the one that was super banned.
Okay.
But
That wasn't Kevin
Jennifer
Smith.
Lopez is in this in this one very briefly.
Kevin
it's
Smith was
Liv
not
Tyler
Jiggly.
more is
okay.
is the main.
J-Lo's is they have a kid. J-Lo passes away at childbirth, so he's raising his daughter by himself, and then he meets Liv Tyler. So,
Oh, wow.
and George Carlin's his dad, I believe.
I'm actually intrigued by that premise
dad or
right
her
there.
dad?
That sounds kind of good.
George Carlin's his dad, right?
We'll go with sure.
He's like a garbage collector.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So we have a draft, right? There's a draft out there. We're waiting for categories. Dave's. I'm waiting.
I'm trying to prolong the fact that I know I'm not going to
so
win.
nervous now. I don't like.
How do you know?
I feel like I'm not going to win.
Some of the things you
You
said.
just don't feel good about it.
Some of the things you said.
Look,
When you said
as the
some of the
judge
things
of
you
this
said, Dave, I
draft,
was looking at
all I
Zach's
can
face.
say is that this was a hard draft to judge.
So tell us how you did it. Wait,
Yeah.
Dave, what was your
Well,
process?
simple point system.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
just simple
I like
point system. Best one. So there's four people in each round. So most points is 4. So I just went 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit! And
Best pick gets 4 points. Worst pick gets 1 point
for each round.
for each round.
and you
then
still came
total-
out. And you still came out with a tie. I'm stepping
out
on
with
it.
a tie,
I'm
yeah.
stepping on it.
Came out
But
with a
holy
tie.
shit!
But tell us now beforehand. How'd you break the tie?
by personal preference.
All right.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Dig that.
I was willing to go for a 5th round sudden death overtime, but that's all right.
Ooh,
We might have run out of carrot now. Not quite. But,
I had 2 more left on my
Oh,
list.
run out of characters. Oh, no.
yeah. My list was very long.
all right. Well, let's hear it. So who what do we got?
So
We're gonna start fourth place.
first.
Fourth place. First loser.
4th place. All right. First loser was number 3.
Team
Who was
3
Team 3.
included Brody Bruce from Mallrats, Holden McNeil chasing Amy, Howard Howe.
Oh, hold
Tusk-
on. I'm sorry. That would be
That would be the winner.
I read
right?
this whole.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I've never been happier in my whole life.
I think I read you guys' chart wrong.
Yeah, it goes down, not
He's got to
horizontal.
rescore
Oh, wait a
everything.
second.
Let's
Hold
pause
on.
it.
I'm gonna
Pause the
rescore
pod.
on the fly right
Pause
now.
the pod. Pause the pod.
Let's go to commercial.
Let's go to commercial.
All right.
All right, we are back. So we've had a little quick, just little break.
We just had Dave just turn the paper sideways. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's like the hidden picture with Willem and Mallrats.
Well,
He didn't see the boat for a second, but I think he's good now. So, what do you got for us, Dave? Let's start with that.
All right,
last
we've got a
place
new
team.
winner.
wait, no, we want last
Starting
place
with
first.
last place.
Last
Okay.
place.
Last
Okay.
place is. Are you guys ready?
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
We sure are.
I'm so ready.
I'm so nervous now.
Team 3, 4, and 2.
That's what?
You have a 3-way tie for last place.
A 3-way tie for last place. Team 1 blew it away.
That is the most.
Team 1 dominated. It wasn't even close.
Do you know who has Team 1, Dave?
Pandering.
I do not know who has Team 1,
Dave,
and this is
before you said who
Bullshit.
had Team 1, Dave, did you know that Team 1 picked the same fucking movie for every single
It
pick?
wasn't the same movie, the same character. What
the
are you talking
same
about?
movie for every single pick. Is that what happened, or is that not what
No,
happened?
I picked Jay and Silent Bob.
I did not
picked
know
Jay and
that,
Silent
but
Bob.
it is
Silent Bob
true.
Strike Back
But
is
that
every
is
single
true.
pick.
That is true. That's true. I didn't know
Wow.
that, but that's true. I didn't think about it. I judged this really quickly because my first time around, I judged it wrong.
You judged it right, really. When it came down to it, when it's all said and done, you judged it correctly. And Brad, you can let everyone know who's what teams.
All right, so currently I have 2 wins. I do not have a third win because this time it goes to the preseason champ. Nick Brown has a number.
God.
Everyone out there
by
is
his
waiting.
name. He has a positive integer next to his name now.
You know what's funny, Dave, is when I came here today, I was like, as long as Brad doesn't win, I don't care what happens. But actually, I do care. I just don't want it to be Nick either.
I got second.
Fuck.
Let's go.
You know what? I didn't want it to
second.
be Nick either. I really didn't.
All right,
But-
so read the teams back.
Let's go. So we'll start with the non-winners, which Team 4, which was Nate, had Alyssa Jones chasing Amy, Dante from Clerks, Mr. Svenning from Mallrats, and Zach from Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
So that was 4th place.
Okay,
that was second place.
That was fourth. Second.
Also in second place, Team 3, that's Brody Bruce Mallrats, Holden McNeil chasing Amy, Howard Howe from Tusk, and Willem Black from Mallrats.
God, that's a good
Also
team.
in second place was Team 2, that was myself. That's Randall Graves from Clerks, the Metatron from Dogma, Banky Edwards chasing Amy, and Miss Ivana from Mallrats. But your winning team for the most memorable Kevin Smith characters, that would be Jay, Silent Bob, Federal Wildlife Marshal Will and Holly from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Brent from Jay and Silent Bob.
The entire
Strike
cast
Back.
of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. That's what I think. Fucking ridiculous.
Cool. Wait.
We're the assholes that allowed Silent Bob to fall all the way back around so he
No.
could have the pair of Jay and Silent
Silent
Bob.
Bob should have
You
been a
guys
first
let
round
me
pick.
get-
First
He's
of
not
all.
a
Silent
first round
Bob.
pick. He's not a first round
Yes,
pick.
he
you
is a
guys-
first round pick. And when I read it wrong the first time, and you can go ahead and keep
There's
that
no
whole
way
part
he
in.
got
You thought he
Jay
was
and
second.
Silent Bob.
When I read it wrong the first time,
You were like, okay, Jay and Silent Bob went first and second.
And you thought that was okay. You were like, okay, that makes sense.
Hey, it does make sense. I think it makes sense.
The 2 biggest.
that is exactly what I thought.
Kevin
That is
Smith
exactly what
fans
I'm like.
are in agreement.
First and second was Jay and Silent Bob. That was how I read it the first time around.
Zach
I threw
and
it off
Nate
by not taking him second. I threw it off, and then all of a sudden he just starts falling.
Yeah.
still falling.
I made a list of my favorite Kevin Smith characters, and Jay nor Silent Bob were not on my list at all.
But the question wasn't
That's great.
your favorite Kevin Smith characters. The question was most memorable Kevin Smith characters.
You're thinking about the question like too specifically.
No, I'm thinking
You
about
sh-
it exactly the way that it's written.
David, you should have thought about it as what are Zach's favorite Kevin Smith characters, and then we would have had a chance here.
All right, so Dave, going across each round. So the top is the first round, second round is the second. What? Just kind of take us through each of those rounds. I want to hear some of your favorite picks from each of those rounds because obviously we know who got first, but like who are some of these other picks?
Is Jay your one of one, David?
He had to be the one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the most memorable Kevin Smith character. I mean, that's probably if you ask a man on the street, like, have you ever heard of Kevin Smith? First of all, they'd say no. And then if you said, hey, have you ever heard of Jay and Silent Bob? They'd say, yeah. Well, the top line character is Jay.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. So that first round, Jay definitely the best pick. What about those? Are those
He's one-on-one, no question about it.
Are those other first rounders right there? We've got Randall, we've got Brody Bruce, we've got Alyssa Jones. Was that a solid first round?
It was a solid first round, but I would have seen Silent Bob as number 2.
Gotcha.
Who do you push off of that first row if you're pushing one of those people off?
Probably
Maybe-
Brody,
Oh, God.
definitely Brody. But I love Brody. I
So
do.
great.
All right, so
But
second.
it wasn't called Chasing Brody or chasing Amy.
So Silent Bob, he obviously is the best pick in the second round. But looking at those other second rounders, which one are you the
This
biggest
whole
fan
thing
of?
was a game for game for number 2.
Okay.
Right? Number 1 was a blowout every round. Okay, I'm sorry to break it to you guys.
But that's because of his first 2 picks, and then he just rode the wave on in, or did he win the third and fourth rounds?
No. I mean, I want to say that third round was just really weak.
Okay.
But that fourth round, that Brent, that was a great pick. Even when I read the chart wrong the first time around, Brent was a really good one.
So who do you got in your also rans, Dave? Like who did we leave off completely out of all of our
Oh,
lists?
lots of guys. Any George Carlin character.
Okay.
First of all.
So who's your number
one? How about Prince? How about Carrie Fisher as the nun? I mean, that's another good. Again, Jay and Silent Bob. I guess I keep going back to it.
I forgot. But
there's.
Do you follow the book?
Exactly. The book of the road. The unwritten rules of the road.
Yeah, I was talking about Carlin's character in Jay and Silent Bob.
Very classic.
You know, the Cardinal. I mean, you guys watch Dogma, right? So the Cardinal Rittenhouse or whatever.
Cardinal Glick. Yeah, Nate brought that one up.
Yeah, Cardinal Glick was on my list. That was the Carlin character that I had as a possibility.
My biggest one, Dave, was Hooper from Chasing Amy. I think Hooper's a classic character. When he's having his rants in front of talking about Darth Vader and his beautiful black visage and stuff, like that's a great monologue.
Well, I love the William Black pick also for team number 3. Team number 3 had a lot of strong choices, you know.
For last place. God damn it.
It's a moral victory.
No, you got second place. You got second,
not for
place.
last place, for second place.
So Dave, how do you feel about Zach and Miri make a porno? Because it's not in the same Clerks like universe. A lot of the same actors.
It's in my
though.
DVD collection.
Okay. Are those characters that you like for the list? Or who's your favorite of that movie from that movie?
Yeah, I mean on that, or I mean Zach doesn't, you know. No.
So, anybody you like better
in that movie though, outside of Zach? Anybody else in that movie that stands out more than
probably
Zach?
Jason Mewes' character?
I mean, no, it's a second-rate movie. Honestly, I put that's a cop-out level movie.
Oh,
okay. Wow!
I like that movie better than. I mean, it's not the Kevin Smith, but I like it. It's for me. It's like one that I return to and forget how much I like it when I watch it.
Oh, so it's not a cop-out. It's on the level of cop-out, is what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly.
I
on the level of
cop-out. I was like
another Kevin Smith movie.
Okay. I didn't finish it.
We're on the Kevin Smith podcast, right, everybody?
I get it now. Fuck, man.
Well,
dude.
Dang.
Dave, thank you, man. I had, this was very beneficial to me.
Jesus Christ.
Do you just help
I
Nick
picked
out
the last
so much?
possible person I wanted to pick. Honestly, I liked it better when it was when I read the chart wrong. It was really exciting draft, and then when it's not that way, it's not exciting anymore. Sorry, guys.
He did say repeatedly
Nick
before this
blew you guys
pod,
out of the water.
He did not want to pick me because he wanted to come on in the future to future pods.
That is exactly right. That is what I've been saying.
Dave,
I've been saying that over and over.
I don't think you're a ringer. I don't think you were here for Nick only. I think you objectively looked at this, and I agree. I think team one.
I think Nick pandered. I think Nick knew the judge and played it that way.
I pandered, and
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. And I'm a little bit mad actually now.
The most memorable character, and I got Jan Silent Bob, and I pandered.
He got Silent Bob in the 8th overall pick.
Well, that's true.
Nick,
those first 2 rounds, Nick. If someone would have picked Silent Bob on the second round, maybe someone would have had a chance to challenge Nick.
Yeah, I mean he had the 1st and the 8th pick, and he got Jay and Silent Bob.
How does Silent Bob not go in the first round? What's wrong with you guys? Randall, come on. Team 2? Who was team 2? Horrible choice.
What are
most memorable?
What's memorable?
No one knows. No one even knows that guy's name. Come on, most
Randall?
memorable? That's the question.
You can get him for $65 on Cameo, Brad.
That's true. Jeff Anderson.
That sounds like you're overpaying.
Well, these guys all overbid. They were like $150, $200 for Jeff Anderson on Cameo.
I said $200.
Brad got himself a birthday present.
I might have a birthday present on the way. April, $65. Jeff Anderson saying,
man.
"What up, Brad?"
So Dave, despite your terrible taste in judging, we're next time you come up here to the Central Valley, you got to come on with us.
Yeah,
Sure, I'd love to.
We'd love to have you on. Man.
Come on live.
I'd love to have some BVK IPA.
Hey, buddy, you got.
We're gonna put some cans off to the side for some of our special fans. Man.
It's gonna be shipping up north. Don't you worry about it.
Put it in the mail.
100%.
Dude, so Dave, I want to put you on the spot really quick. So you're obviously an avid movie watcher. We've got a bunch of people listening to the pod that are watching movies all the time. What's something that you've seen recently that you want to throw out to the BVK pod? Not having anything to do with Kevin Smith or anything else. I'm just curious, like, what's a good one that you watched that you would throw out to the listeners?
Recently watched movies.
It doesn't have to be
here's
a recent.
The problem is that
Doesn't have to be a recent movie. No,
Okay.
just like
Just a
something
good
that,
movie?
yeah, something that you saw that you're like, man, people need to see this. I'm just curious. I'm trying to expand my repertoire, and don't say Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. 'Cause I'm not going to watch that shit.
It can even be a TV series.
And
we
you
don't
can
give a shit.
and you can take your time because we can.
I have
edit
a
the fuck out of
2-year-old
this.
daughter, but
Oh,
if
God.
you could put me on pause, I could think about it. But I have a 2-year-old daughter, so we don't get to watch a lot of movies.
So
I
so
remember
Bluey.
those days.
Yeah, well, you watch.
But
you watch.
yeah, you know,
are
you can watch
watching
some. I might
Bluey,
recommend
or-
Daniel Tiger. That's
Okay.
a great series to watch.
I hate
we
how he
also
always
like
said
Eleanor Wonders Why.
Little Zootopia, maybe. I don't know.
I gotta say, Daniel Tiger. Every time da 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 meow, I like. Oh, it bothered me. Like I hate
Are you
the way he
saying
talks.
meow?
Yeah, all I can think of is friggin' Super Troopers.
Dave, you're not. You know, you're up, kind of getting close to Canada. You don't, for the love of God, you don't let your child watch Caillou, do you?
No,
Oh, good.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
I don't want to raise a little whiner.
Oh yeah, good answer. Because that would have gotten you kicked right off the pot. I'm
When Caillou died, the world rejoiced.
Washington State's CPS hotline just starts ringing. If you would have said yes, it would have been like.
All right, so movie. Not.
No, you don't. There's no.
Oh
doesn't-
shit!
it doesn't-
I thought I recommended Daniel Tiger.
No,
It doesn't even have to be recent.
I was being serious. That's a great show.
I want your like from the heart movie recommendation.
Whatever you got, brother. I just want to watch a good
Hard
one.
recommend movie.
It's even a movie-
just too hard.
doesn't
That's
even
a
matter.
really hard choice.
All right.
No, I mean, you got Indiana. I mean, you're a big indie.
Well, I mean,
you're a huge
any
Indiana
movie.
Jones.
I mean, you guys know. You guys have an entire year's worth of movies lined up for what's coming up next. I guess
We're
I
not-
recommended a recent movie to Nick to watch.
Oh yeah, what's that?
In March. The Quiet Man is a great movie. It's an old movie. It's John Wayne, and he goes to Ireland. He inherits some land from his family, and he basically I'm not going to spoil it for you. So check out that one, The Quiet Man.
The Quiet Man.
The Quiet Man. He doesn't speak the language. He doesn't speak Irish.
The Gaelic.
If you've ever heard somebody who really is from Ireland speak English,
Yeah,
it is
it's not a joke.
indecipherable.
Conor McGregor.
Oh my god, it is fucking just so thick. But you know what, Dave? That's awesome. My dad's gonna be excited about that. He's a big John Wayne guy. Listens to the pod.
It's a good recommendation. I'm sure he's seen it. If he's
He
a
asked-
John Wayne guy, he's seen that.
He
one.
asks me every week that I see him. I go over there on Thursdays, drop my kids off, and he goes, "When you guys gonna do a Western? When you guys gonna do a Western?"
Oh, I know Nick's got a Western for us one of these days.
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yeah, we'll
Open
be jumping
range.
in.
Oh,
Dude,
That's
hey,
up
that's
there.
that's one of his movies, dude. That's one of his movies. He's like,
That's a
when
good movie. Nick recommended that one to me, and I watched it, and it was outstanding.
Almost-
I highly recommend that one. Hey, cancel that. That's not a Nick movie anymore. That's a Dave movie. I recommend Open Range.
He took that just like he took Seabiscuit.
Oh shit! Seabiscuit was a big movie for Nick. Nick's a big.
I could talk
Seabiscuit
about.
guy.
You guys want to talk about Seabiscuit? Do we got a minute here?
I can't.
I'll
believe,
just say, Nick, I had the honor to
ahead.
hold the Seabiscuit trophy at the Millard Sheets Art Gallery in LA County, and it was an awesome moment
So,
when we got to
A little background to
Seabiscuit
that is
trophy.
so not only were Dave and I roommates in college, but after we graduated, we started a little skateboard company together, and off and on in my rubber tramp kind of nomad days, as far as trying to be the traveling starving artist. Many years we worked at the Millard Sheets Gallery in Pomona during the course of the fair, where we put together and constructed a huge art exhibition. Every year, the exhibition was different and the subject matter was different. The first year we did it was about horses, literally the history of horses through art. And they also and they would bring in all different artifacts, not just art, but they also brought the actual Seabiscuit trophy when he beat War Admiral and
shit.
and actually the jockey attire. And it wasn't too far removed from my Seabiscuit watching days.
and they brought it in, and Nick was
I was
like,
able
"Is
to
that
hold the Seabiscuit and help display it.
Did you try to put on the jockey?
Oh, dude.
I did, but
you're
not in public, not in front of anybody.
Nick was big
Nick was
back
big
then.
back then.
There's
He held
no
the trophy
way.
up. He held it with pride. He held it with honor.
Was that-
He
was-
held it the way it deserved to be held.
Was that back when Nick was all jacked on steroids? Was he still
It was.
heavy steroids?
That was
Houston-
That's not
Houston
something
steroids
Nick,
were still flowing through his
Nick would ever
veins.
do.
Nick had some traps
That's
on him
right
back
after
then.
those, right off of my cycle.
Long hair brushing his traps that were up by his fucking
your
earlobes.
Tom Hardy days.
Oh my my
Oh
God.
God, let's not talk about those. I'm getting hard.
This one from 6 to midnight.
Hey, Dave, bud. Hey, it's thank you so much for coming on. It's so good to see you, man. I miss you, but at least we get to talk and seeing you on the pod. And I know you would be a fixture on the pod just like Scotch Beck if you were here in person. But thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Hey, thank you. And I'm sorry I picked the wrong contestant today.
We'll forgive you in about a year or two.
Yeah.
See you, Dave.
We'll just hate Nick instead of hating you. It works out perfect.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks for having me on.
See you, bud.
Peace,
Thanks
brother.
a bunch. All right, well, Nick, congrats on that win, man.
Thanks, bud.
I mean, you call your buddy to show up and he gets you a win. That's
And then you
always
just pick
nice.
all his favorite shit. That's
pretty cool.
Call him the
Nice
cooler,
job.
the cooler
Way to
with the
get a win.
ringer, whatever you want to call him.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird how you're the one that sent him the draft results and you ended up winning. That's fucking weird.
Served its purpose.
Nick's
No,
like, pick
actually,
tip number
Nick,
one.
your team was. It's the correct number one choice.
I do.
I agree.
Thanks,
I agree with Dave that it was shameful that we let. I don't know why we all put blinders on and didn't grab
Silent Bob.
Silent Bob.
It's because he's not a good character. I guess we should have put good character instead of most memorable. When you add the memorable to it, you're like, okay, I do remember
You're right.
the fat
You
guy that doesn't
drafted for
talk the
good.
entire time.
I drafted for memorable, and the draft was memorable.
Yeah, and you
Silent
were like,
Bob's
probably
rant
right.
and Chasing Amy, where he actually does the actual real little monologue,
it's
is
incredible.
great because he does the whole. When he does you didn't know I was a stage dancer or whatever, it's like that shit's hell.
Well, and Nick remembers watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so he picked all the characters.
I've
Cool.
only
You
said
remember
it
that.
12 times during this pod.
All right, so next week we're gonna have a new movie, and I believe this one's gonna be led by the Dark Lord himself,
We're going
Zach.
Zach
We're going
Crispy.
we're going big time. We're going with a huge movie from a huge director. I don't even know if it was a huge movie. Actually, I'll have to do some research on
It was
that.
pretty huge, I think.
But my God, I fucking love it. We're going Prestige, and
Love it.
a little Christopher
can't
Nolan up
wait
in this.
to talk to you guys. I assume everybody's seen it, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about what you guys think really happens in the movie, because there's some different interpretations out there about what is actually going on. And man, I freaking love it. We've got a really cool special guest, Nate. Who do we got on to come on and judge us?
So Lauren Allaire is coming on. She is a model and artist, but she's also a huge movie fan. So she's big on Instagram. She posts a lot. She does a lot of modeling, and she's a painter. And so I sort of know her from other things, and I noticed that for about every 1 out of every 10 posts is some sort of movie post or movie reference. I was like, hey, you want to come on? She's like, yeah, I love The Prestige. I love Christian Bale. So I'm like, great, let's do it. We're doing the Prestige pod. So she's going to come on, chat a little bit of Prestige with us, and then she's going to be back, and she's going to judge us on
And what's the category?
the most memorable Christian Bale characters.
Dude, I already know my one of one right now.
That dude has had a long career. I mean, going way back.
Yeah, this is going to be an
be
interesting
fun.
draft.
You guys heard Bale talk not in a movie?
He's Welsh, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
that blew my mind the first time I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
So one of my favorite, from a pure interest standpoint, moments on Bevs to this point was when my buddy Cliff was on, who's the actor, and we're like, oh, is it what asking about accents, and he's like, well, it makes total sense that people from all over the world are going to learn some American accent because so many more movies
All the media
are produced and made, so you got to kind of have that as part of your toolkit. And I was like, oh, it totally makes sense. It's like a purely, a lot of it is just an economic decision by actors to be able to develop
Yeah, he
that.
said that
So-
tool in your toolbox, and that's going to help you get roles. So
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. You would never know it. He's his accent, a bunch of different accents that are American accents of different varieties, and he's perfect at them.
my question, real quick, is this our first Nolan movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we did in the also the
Interstellar.
Garage. We did some.
Did Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah, but those
Those are the ones that no one's ever gonna hear, right?
The,
So
the
So this is
basement
our
tapes,
first
the garage
official
tapes.
BVK.
and I will be the first to say that Nolan is not one of my favorite all-time directors. I respect him and I think he's great, but he's not one of my favorites ever. But this movie, I think, just kills it, and I can't wait to
I love the pick.
discuss it with you guys.
Yeah,
That's a pretty
Prestige,
fun one.
Dude.
It's a great one. So
Very good.
So we'll be back with that next week. Tune in.
Sweet.
Yep.
Thanks
Let's
Later.
do it.
for listening.
All right, bye-bye.
Adios.
I wanna Jack and Brad, your favorite podcast. Let's start